Chief of Staff Reince Priebus is now finally clarifying something that several White House officials declined to clarify yesterday on the flight home on Air Force One in speaking to reporters. You'll remember after this much talked about meeting between President Trump and President Putin, there were differing readouts, contradictory readouts by each side. Both sides agreed that President Trump brought up the issue of Russia's meddling in the election, but the Russians said that the President Trump, seemed to take President Putin at his word when he denied that Russia meddled in the election. Yesterday, several White House officials were asked to clarify this, to clear the record, to correct the record, I should say, and no one did. Today, Chief of Staff Reince Priebus did so. Take a listen to what he said on Fox.
The president absolutely did not believe the denial of President Putin. What the president did is he immediately came into the meeting, talked about Russian meddling in the U.S. election, went after that issue at least 2 separate times. He's answered this question many times. He said they probably meddled in the election. They did meddle in the election.
So there you hear Reince Priebus being definitive in saying that President Trump did not believe President Putin, but he also says that the president has answered this question many times. We often hear that from White House officials, and it isn't the case. The last we heard directly from the president on the whole issue of Russian meddling was on Thursday in Poland, and he was far from definitive. Listen to what he had to say then.
Mistakes have been made. I agree. I think it was Russia, but I think it was probably other people and/or countries. And I see nothing wrong with that statement. Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows for sure.
Nobody really knows for sure. So this has been a very much muddled message. And it's what's also raising questions, of course, is the president talking about working with Russia on cyber security. If Reince Priebus is to be believed that the president does believe that Russia had something to do with meddling in the election, then it doesn't make sense to then work with the meddlers on trying to prevent future meddling.